much has been said about the demand for courses in careers like medical, engineering or even business management. But just how much have we focused on careers in liberal arts? Well, for one thing, gone are the days when students opted for the more conventional streams like medical or engineering. Now they're looking for more holistic education, and for that very reason, liberal arts fits the bill perfectly. So what is liberal arts and what exactly is your scope in this particular subject? To find out just that, I have with me the students and the Vice Principal of Sapphire Women's College in Mumbai. So ma'am, can you tell us exactly what liberal arts means?
Under the heading of liberal arts, we would include humanities as well as the social sciences. So humanities, things like philosophy, English literature, and social sciences would be things like psychology, political science, economics, sociology, and so on.
Right. So now that we've got the whole definition of liberal arts cleared, so how many of you all here are pursuing liberal arts at the moment? Okay, all of you. So what's the subject exactly? Okay, let's start off with you. What about you? What are the subjects that you have at the moment?
So I've taken a combination of economics, statistics and literature, and in my third year I will be majoring in economics.
Okay, so what about you? Do you have the similar courses?
So my subject combinations were history, psychology and literature, and I plan on taking up history majors in my third year.
Okay, so what next? What after that? Have you decided on that yet?
I'm exploring my options. I haven't actually decided. I'm looking into maybe conservation, museology, archaeology, and I'm still looking. I have a year to figure it out, and I'm going to make the most of it.
Okay. So, ma'am, we've seen liberal arts in India especially. The whole definition is very different from what it is abroad.
Yes,
so
that's true.
What's the difference that you have seen?
Well, over there they do a lot of crossover courses and they combine things like mathematics with something like English literature if they wish to perhaps.
Right.
Over here our choices are far more restricted.
Okay.
So that is a problem here. But then at the same time I think the very idea of categorizing or classifying knowledge itself is problematic. You know, because if we say liberal arts as if it is different from other, types of knowledge or
Correct.
sources of knowledge. I think that itself is problematic. You know?
Right.
We are making those distinctions, which to a large extent may be artificial. And if you study the history of education, I think most of the courses developed from what we popularly call liberal arts.
Okay. So I just wanted to ask you all, the fact that over the last few years, well, there's been a lot of focus on engineering and, all these sort of specializations, medical or let's say even BBM, like business management for that matter. So what exactly were you all thinking, Did you plan ahead when you decided to take up any of these courses that you did? What about you? Would you like to answer that?
I think when you take up humanities or liberal arts, it keeps your options open. So if you're still undecided as to what you want to do, liberal arts is the best option. Also, if you take liberal arts, there are a lot of courses you can get into. So if you want to do psychology, you can become a psychologist, or you can work in HR, or become a research analyst for that matter. So I think the focus is now shifting towards arts, but not so much.
Right. Do you agree with her opinion or do you want to add something more to
Yeah,
that?
I do, but it also depends on what interests you because of the wide range of subjects. Liberal arts offers you something that truly interests you rather than, say, just engineering, which didn't appeal to me particularly. I could go for literature or history.
See, what basically is needed that when you have liberal arts, it's very important that, you specialize in that. In the sense that you can only pursue later or have a stable job if there's specialization. Example, nowadays a lot of courses like image consultancy, wedding planning, all that. So
Right.
you got to specialize. It's like a BA degree per se will not take you anywhere.
Yeah, but then again, like when you speak about all these upcoming careers, offbeat careers as you would call it, the first thing you think about is what's the scope in India? I might just go abroad and get a better degree and probably it just might work out for me better there. In India, however, it's marginalized. It comes very often, it is just a small part of your course. You probably have a 1-hour paper on psychology in comparison to, let's say, the amount of stress, the amount of, let's say, you focus on clinical psychology, abnormal psychology, a lot of other papers on psychology, but here is just like, one aspect of it is just shunned to that bit. Do you agree with that? Do you think that's changing in India?
I don't really think that's true because we do have specializations by the time the student reaches the third year and she will do a host of subjects perhaps in
Okay.
psychology. okay, be it abnormal or whatever it may be. And so when you're talking about specialization, there is a level of specialization that is happening. But even if a student chooses to go in for a combination of two different subjects, I think that's perfectly fine because it's a kind of an interdisciplinary approach and it gives you a wider perspective on things.
Right. So there's always the, it's like a stepping stone to
Yes, it
something
is
else.
definitely
Yeah.
a stepping stone.
So okay, over here, let's say we touched upon the college topic. So yeah, Sapphire's college definitely offers courses, but let's say when you were doing your research, we'll start off with you. So when you were doing your research, do you think there were many colleges which probably gave you this opportunity to focus especially on the subject that you were looking for in liberal arts?
In terms of the opportunities for colleges for a humanities course is definitely restricted, especially in Mumbai. So
Right.
you have like namely probably 3 or 4. So when we were applying, there was probably a list of 5 in terms of priority. So definitely Sapphire's more or less on everybody's list comes in the top 3 easily, with Xavier's being there, Mithibai being there. So in terms of colleges, I think there has to be an increase in the number of colleges that offer like a humanities course or a liberal arts course, which is not so easily available in India, which is something that needs to change.
I would just like to add that even beyond just the availability of the courses, it's also the quality of the faculty that matters. And very often, though the courses are available, the faculties are not up to the mark, you could say. But I mean, at least at so far, my experience has been that the faculties were outstanding. So that also affected my decision, and that's what I recommend to other people. Always to look at the faculties or you'll
That's
be
more
considering.
important
Yeah,
than
yeah.
just figuring out the course plan. That is.
Yes.
You know, these specialized courses that you were mentioning earlier, like BBM and all of that, I feel like the whole focus of it is to create some sort of a technocratic society. Everything has a utilitarian value to the extent that when I go outside, the first thing people ask me is not what are you learning, what do you attempt to make out of that degree. This is also seen as some kind of investment, and that's not what knowledge really should be. So that's what a liberal arts education offers you, which nothing else can.
So it's all about the holistic education perspective. Yeah, it's overall. So yeah, let me just ask you this then. I mean, among your peers, among let's say the people who joined different colleges and took up different streams along with you. So what was the demand that you saw there?
There's a huge demand for these courses, but I mean, just say, suppose you've enrolled for a BMM or a BMS, and at the end of it, you realize that you find that you have a newfound interest in something else. You've totally cut yourself off from the possibility of ever exploring that, because now you're stuck with this degree. What do you do?
Okay. So what about you? What's your take on that?
I agree with her because I mean, even if say we have 3 subjects, so we have a wider choice, and we can always our decision we take it in the second year towards the end of it.
Okay.
So we've sort of had a background in other subjects other than the one that we're going to do. But say in computer engineering or BMM, you're doing something that will orient you towards a particular field and a particular occupation.
Right.
So for us, that remains open for a much longer time.
Okay. So yeah, so basically the end point, the main thing over here is the fact that it leaves you with other opportunities as well, because that's what we're looking for at the moment. When you're in college, when you're in graduation, you're not exactly prepared, you're not very sure about what you want to do post that. But okay, let's say if we do focus on beyond graduation, have you ever thought that, maybe if, let's say, I want to get a master's, I want to get a PhD in psychology or sociology for that matter, have you all ever looked up the fact that, okay, I'm doing my graduation here, there's good opportunity, but what about beyond that? If I pursue this course, what next? Like post-graduation, when I want to do my master's, what next in India? Are there many options?
I think if you do a liberal arts course and whether of course abroad, there are many more options that are available to you.
Okay.
But even in India now, everything's coming up really fast. Like for example, I'm thinking of doing sports psychology with sports management or physiotherapy. So even with a liberal arts background, I can even go into something like say kinesiology, which might need biology.
Okay.
So abroad, I can take like a parallel course in biology and do kinesiology. So if you're in a liberal arts course, it does not mean that you cannot go into the pure sciences later on.
Right.
That option is also open. And even in India, a lot of this is now coming up. So you have many sports medicine institutions opening up, many of the kind coming up. So I think, that's that's a positive aspect.
Yes, it's definitely positive, but it's still in a budding phase.
Yeah,
Let's just call it that. Ma'am, what about you? What do you think about the education? Let's say the same thing which I asked her. Do you think it's the higher education perspective? Are we looking at studying abroad? Is that a better option, or do you think it's better in India?
I think it largely depends upon what the student would like to do, because some opportunities are opening up, as she said now.
Right.
In fact, Mumbai University itself has said that they're going to encourage, across the various streams, people taking courses of their choice across the streams. And if that happens, then certainly I think their prospects are fairly bright over here.
True. So there's some food for thought. We'll be back with more on this topic after a short break. Stay tuned.